Dear learners, though we have seen that it's really not very important to learn all Incoterms and remembering them, as those are available on open source and you just need to get your process mapped in those charts, we will still look forward for few Incoterms that are widely used. So our first Incoterm is Ex-Works. In this Incoterm, Canada Corporation as a seller has the responsibility only to make the goods available at its premises of warehouse or factory based in Canada. However, India Corporation as a buyer is responsible for arranging and paying for the entire shipment process from the Canada Corporation's premises. This includes transportation, insurance, export clearance, and import customs duties and taxes. In this Incoterm, material delivery responsibility shifts from Canada Corporation to Indian Corporation at Canada Corporation's premises in Canada. Now our first Incoterm is FCA, or Free Carrier Alongside. In this method, Canada Corporation as a seller is responsible for delivering the goods to the port of Quebec, which is port in Canada, then clear those goods for export and move them to alongside the carrier. And then India Corporation is responsible for loading the potatoes onto the ship, all transportation costs from the port of Quebec and associated risks thereafter. Here, India Corporation is also responsible for customs clearance and paying import duties in India and then moving this material from the port in India to the buyer's premises. Hence, material delivery responsibility in this method shifts from Canada Corporation to India Corporation when material is delivered alongside the ship in port of Quebec. Our next Incoterm is CPT, or Carriage Paid To. Here, Canada Corporation as a seller is responsible for arranging and paying for the carriage of the goods from its own premises to the named place of destination in India, which is Mumbai Port. From there, India Corporation as a buyer bears the risk and responsibility for import customs clearance, import duties, and payment taxes upon arrival of the goods in Mumbai Port in India and further from India Port to their own premises. Now let's look at our next Incoterm, that is Delivery Duty Paid, or DDP. In this Incoterm, Canada Corporation as a seller is responsible for delivering the goods from their own premises in Canada till the Mumbai port in India and further cleared with import with the customs authority in India. And it bears all the costs and risks associated with the delivery, including import customs clearance and import duties and taxes. Further, once customs clearance is done, Canada Corporation has to deliver those goods to Indian Corporation premises from the port. So in this case, India Corporation has no obligation for transportation or import related expenses, and material delivery responsibility remains with Canada Corporation until the goods are delivered and ready for unloading at the named place of buyer's premises in India. So another important point to remember in the list of Incoterms is Ex-Works and DTP, which are the two corners of ocean. Here, Ex-Works place more responsibilities and risks on the buyer, who is responsible for arranging and paying the entire shipment process from the seller's premises. On the other hand, Deliver Duty Paid, or DDP, places more responsibilities and risks on the seller, who is responsible for delivering the goods from their own premises till the buyer's premises, including import clearance in receiving country and bearing all the associated costs and risks until delivery. Dear learners, as we've seen that it's really not important to learn and by heart all the Incoterms, I'm making this chapter to easily understand the major features of Incoterms and making your understanding much more better. So as far as Incoterms 2020 are concerned, there are 11 types of Incoterms and it is difficult to understand each of them. So here's one easy way to understand the group of Incoterms. There are 4 groups which includes Group E, Group F, Group C and finally Group D. Now let's understand the feature of these 4 groups. First group is called as Group E. Actually, we call it as a group, but it is just one Incoterm in this group referred to as X-Works. Let's take a look at the feature of X-Works. In X-Works, buyer will take all cost and risk responsibility from the shipper's factory till buyer's premises. This is one of the easiest Incoterm to understand, isn't it? And now let's look at the next group, which is Group D. This group has the opposite feature from Group E. In Group E, buyer takes all cost and risk responsibility, but on the other hand, in Group D, shipper takes all cost and risk responsibility. However, in an actual, there is a difference within the Incoterms in this group about who pays duty and tax and who takes responsibility of unloading goods at buyer's port. Our next group is Group F. In Group F, shipper takes cost and risk responsibility till the port of exporting country. Then, buyer takes cost and risk responsibility after the port of the exporting country. However, in our next group, called as Group C, shipper takes cost responsibility until the port in the importing country. Well, I hope you love this concept. Stay tuned for another interesting concepts.